We are back. What is going on, YouTube universe? This is your boy Eric from AFNB Pictures, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. So last week I put up a poll, basically just trying to come up with some new topics to talk about for the weekend. The first one was the problem with modern age single mothers, basically modern women in the world overall. The second one was what lies in the afterlife. And the third one is the dangers of AI and how AI could be the downfall of the modern workforce. Well, majority vote decided that the topic would be the afterlife, which is kind of what I was hoping. But instead of talking about just that, I'm going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to talk about every one of them. It's just going to be not so much a rant. Well, it might turn into a rant because you know me, you know that's how I get. So, yeah, let's get it cracking. What lies in the afterlife? The afterlife has always been something, it's been a fascination of mine for a long time. What comes after death? Where do we go? Do we go to heaven? Do we go to hell? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? I mean, religious people will tell you that there is. Some will tell you that there's not. I know there's a lot of most scientists don't believe in life after death, which is something interesting that I actually just found out. Like, I didn't know that that it was that serious, like there are a lot of people that firmly believe in science and that they believe that once you die, that's it. Like, there's no more. Some people believe that, there's a heaven, there's a hell, and depending on how you live your life, that's where you're going to go. You live your life in a good way, you'll go to heaven. You do everything good, you do right by everybody, and if you be good, you be a nice person, and you'll get to go to heaven. If you do bad things, you'll go to hell. If you're a sinner, you're gonna go to hell. And there's so many different beliefs in different religions. And I think the thing that really started my fascination with that is when I was still in college. This was about a year before I dropped out. I took a religion course, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of my professor, but she was one of the nicest old ladies you could ever meet. And she was so thorough and just spot on. She was probably the best professor that I had there, which is funny because religion was nowhere near my major. I wanted to be a writer. At the time I was majoring in English. I still was juggling, the odds, like, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? Like, I guess you could say I was at a crossroads in my life. Like, I really didn't feel like I belonged there. But that course, I remember that was one of the only courses that I took that really just, it felt good. It was actually something that I was interested in learning about. This is something that they never taught us in high school. The only thing outside of arithmetic and English, the only thing I learned in high school was another language. I learned Spanish. And fuck, I still can't make a full sentence. You know what I mean? Hola, como esta? Nigga, that's all I can do. That's as far as I can go. But yeah, that religion course, man, it just blew my mind. And like, that was one of the topics that she covered, was different people's beliefs on life after death. And man, some of the theories were just insane, about reincarnation. And some people believe that when you die, you get reincarnated as either another person or, as an animal, or hell, some people get reincarnated as a fucking tree. Like, you never know. And it blew my mind. And ever since, like, I would always end up, either going on the internet or going on YouTube, and no matter what I searched for, no matter what was on my playlist, that was always something that would be at the end. was a topic on religion and religious conspiracies and shit, and it's stuff like that. I'm weird, and stuff like that just blows my mind, man. And I love learning about it. It's crazy because YouTube is one of the most educational places nowadays, which is fucking amazing how far we've come. Like, if you can't find it on YouTube, you probably can't find it anywhere. Hell, I learned how to change a tire off of YouTube. So, but yeah, I remember watching a video on, it was three different people who had near death experiences. One of them actually did die. Like, what's the medical term for it when you die and come back to life? Oh, what is it called? What is it called? I want to say it's called coding. He coded out. And he mentioned that when he died, he went to what he referred to as his own personal hell. Like, he saw demons, he saw people that he hadn't, see, people that had died years and years before, like just all these faces. And it was the most terrifying thing ever for him. And when he came back, it was like he had been gone for hours. For him, it felt like hours. I guess the doctor told him he had only been out for 3 seconds. Can you imagine that? Like, honestly, can you fucking imagine that? Dying for 3 seconds, and that 3 seconds feels like an eternity. Only to be pumped back to life. Hey, welcome back to life. You coded for 3 seconds. Like, what do you say to that? Like, dude, I was dead for hours. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you explain that? And how do you explain what you saw? You know what I mean? And that, man, that was crazy. That was, if I could find the video for that, oh my God, I want to do a reaction to that video. Because that just blew my mind, dude. But yeah, like, what happens after death? Like, no one really knows, I guess, except for the people that have coded. The people that there are people out there that have actually died and come back. As weird as that sounds, you know what I mean? Due to modern medicine, you can bring somebody back to life. I mean, not obviously not from, like, you can't be dead for years and you just Frankenstein and shit. You can't do that. But yeah, I had a theory though, and me and my mom were at the laundromat. We got to talking about, people that have passed away, and we got on the subject of what our grandparents used to tell us. What happens after you die? If you're a good person, you're going to go to heaven. It goes back to, you're a good person, you're going to go to heaven. If you're bad, you're going to go to hell. And I had a theory, and my belief is this: the afterlife is a sole reflection on how you lived your life. There's not necessarily a heaven or hell. It's just your afterlife. So depending on how you lived your life, who you did right by, who you wronged, if you fucked anybody over, if you were a horrible piece of shit person throughout your entire life, no matter, whatever you did in your current life, or in your, well, soon to be ending current life, that's going to determine, I feel that I truly do feel this will determine what lies in store on the other side. So let's say you were an average Joe. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily perfect. You're not necessarily terrible. You've done some schemy shit, but nothing that's like sin worthy. Overall, you lived a decent life. I feel that what lies for you on the other side will be equally as decent. It won't be perfect, but it'll be contentful. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be something that you'll overall be happy with. because you did right. You know what I mean? You didn't go out of your way to fuck nobody over. You tried the best you could to be the best version of yourself, and you just did right by everybody. Cool. Then what lies for you in the afterlife is going to equal to that. It's going to balance that out. Your afterlife is going to be pretty good. What you do with it after that, that's on you. This is what you get. This is your afterlife from here on. This is your gift for the life that you live. Now let's flip it. Let's turn the tables. Let's say you were a horrible piece of shit person. You didn't give a fuck about nobody. You know, you stepped on toes. You cheated on your spouse. You fucked over every bitch that you met. You know what I mean? You just screwed everybody over in life. You used your friends. You lied to everybody. Well, let me tell you something. I feel that you're going to get your comeuppings on the other side. And it's going to be just like the good person that tried his best to just be him. He got his gift, you're going to get yours. Because all them bad things that you've been doing, that's basically you telling God, you know what? This is what I want when I die. So don't be surprised if you get onto that other side, piece of shit person, if you're listening, whoever you are. Or you might not be, but just if you are that type of person, you might want to start getting right. Because what's lying on the other side, that's your gift. It could either be a gift or it could feel like a curse. But overall, guess what? That's God's gift to you. That's what I feel. I don't know if that's true or not. Hell, I could be 120% wrong. Nobody's ever, who's really right about what's on the other side? Even the dudes that coded, who knows? That might have just been a nightmare. Who knows? Even nightmares feel very surreal. We've all had nightmares that have felt real. A little too fucking real. So, hey, I guess what I'm trying to say is do right by others, man. Just try your best to do right by people. That's all you can do, man. We obviously ain't gonna be perfect. If you can't be great, just try to be good, man. Try to at least be decent. I feel that God will settle for decent. God will settle for a decent human being. He's obviously not gonna go for a horrible piece of shit person, but at least a decent person will probably be granted a good gift or a rite of passage or whatever's on the other side. You might have a good time on the other side. That's just my belief. And I really took that with me when I wrote my script for When the Man Comes Around. When the Man Comes Around really dealt with making peace with your life. And fortunately, that, like I said on a couple live streams ago, that film never got to happen. But I still have the script. Every now and again, I still look over it and I read over it. And just the messages that are in it, man, about just the afterlife and making peace with everybody and making peace with yourself. Because that's the most important part. We don't know what's lying on the other side. Nobody knows that. But if you have at least made peace with your life, you're probably not going to worry that much when it's time to go. And if you can at least die knowing, hey, I did my part. I'm good. If you can die saying, you know what, I'm good, you probably won't have anything to worry about. That's just my belief. You probably ain't got nothing to worry about. You'll be okay. On the other side, you're going to be okay. It might even feel like paradise. There might actually be a paradise. Or, if you're conflicted, well, let's get on that. What do conflicted souls get? I feel that conflicted souls wander the earth. That's just my belief. If you have a lot of conflict in your heart, and you got doubts and regrets that you ain't made peace, that obviously means that you haven't made peace with your life. You can't go nowhere. I feel you honestly can't go anywhere. These are the spirits and the souls that wander the earth because either they haven't made peace or their job's not done. Some people pass before their job is done. Why do I believe that? My family. We are very superstitious people, and we do believe in spirits. And this really started when my mom used to tell me stories about after my grandfather died. She told me that before he passed, when she was a little girl, he would always come home and he would sit on the edge of her bed while she was sleeping, just to check on her. She told me that after he passed away, this was a little while after he passed, she would go to sleep, and she would still feel like a weight on the edge of the bed. And at first it scared her. But then she remembered, hey, my dad used to check on me before I went to sleep. I know this is personal shit that I'm telling, but it's real shit regardless. Because this is stuff that I believe in. You ain't got to believe in it, but hey, this is just me. This is us. This is with me. It's my family. We believed in this for generations. And to this day, my mom tells me that sometimes she can still feel a weight on the edge of her bed. Maybe that's just God allowing Grandpa to visit her for a little bit. Who knows? Who knows? Apparitions. You ever seen one? Of course you have. Even if you think you haven't. What's an apparition? Apparition could be many things. It could be a wandering soul that's trapped. Or it could be the spirit of a family member looking out for you. This is all afterlife shit, man. It's like what lies? What lies? We getting deep with it, man. What lies? What lies on the other side? Maybe what you think lies on the other side, it ain't crossed over yet. I remember I used to stay at my aunt's house. Grew up on the north side of Youngstown. Stayed at my aunt's house on Funston Street. And I'll never forget the year that my great aunt Leo passed away. She died, right? She died in that house. She died in my great aunt's house. My great aunt Vivian. She died right, actually in her bedroom, actually. I was there when she passed away. And this was the first time that I'd ever saw anybody die. And let me tell you something. Death has, what's the word I'm looking for? Death has an aura. It has a feeling. It's in whatever room somebody died. Like you feel that energy. It flows before it passes on. And we all felt every single bit of that energy when Aunt Leo died. Fast forward a few months after the funeral. I'm over at my aunt's house. You know, she's at work. Cousin Butterball and his friend are there chilling. Chilling outside the house. I'm still inside, mind you. You know, just watching TV. I go past in the other room, you know, to get my shoes on, maybe take a walk outside. Now, from the other room to the living room, the kitchen is right that way. So in my peripheral, I can see what's going on in the kitchen. Call me crazy. Damn it if I didn't see a figure walk past. Like real quick. Almost like a Thanos snap. It was real quick walking past. But that figure looked just like my Aunt Leo. Does it sound crazy? Maybe to some. Does it sound relatable? Probably to a lot of you. I bet definitely to a lot of you. Feel like that's another example of a spirit watching over you. Because she always used to watch over us anyway. She was one of the nicest, sweetest people. I got scared for a split second. For a split second. But then when I kind of realized, okay, maybe that's her. Maybe that's her. I think, no, that's not Leo. You feel safe. I felt safe. Because these ain't bad spirits, man. Ghosts ain't bad. They're not. They're just either conflicted or they're watching over you. It's one of the two. A ghost is either a conflicted soul or a deceased family member watching over you, checking up on you every now and again. That's what I feel a ghost is. I know I make skits and videos about ghosts doing this shit. Like I just made a skit about a ghost that was hands-on, freaky, like. But on some real shit, that's what I feel ghosts are, man. They ain't there to harm you. A conflicted soul can be dangerous, yes. But just remember, that's a soul that is going through something. They were going through something in their life that they never got right with. And they had to die with that conflict. Now imagine dying with all your regrets and fears and conflict that you never got over. Imagine taking that to your grave. You ain't getting no passage. I'm sorry, I don't feel you're getting a passage. I feel that God is going to make you walk this earth until you get right. You got to get right. An example of that, one of the best examples of what I just talked about, is a movie called Jacob's Ladder. It's probably one of my favorite psychological horror movies ever made, man. This was one of the greatest. This is the best afterlife movie. And anytime I get on the subject of talking about death with my friends, this is the first movie that I bring up because it's one of my all-time favorites. Mainly because that plot twist. If you have never seen Jacob's Ladder, I urge you. If you have Amazon Prime, and I'm pretty sure that it's still on Amazon Prime Video, go check out Jacob's Ladder, man. I'm telling you, this not only is it scary, it's educational, man. There's a lot of subliminal messages in this movie. Like with Gabriel, Jacob's the stairway to heaven and all that shit, purgatory. Like, dude, this is the movie when you talking about shit that I'm talking about right now. And even to this day, I watch this movie and man, I get a chill. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be anybody. What if, hey, who knows? You might have had a near-death experience and shit. What if that's you? What if what you thought was a near-death experience, that's really you dying? You just died. Now you going through what was your life. And you seeing all this shit. We all done had that feeling, man. We all done had that feeling where it's just a glitch in the matrix. Kind of goes hand in hand with the AI shit, don't it? You ever feel like sometimes you in a computer simulated program? We've all seen glitches in the matrix before, whether it's in real life or on TV. Prime example of a glitch in the matrix is deja vu. You ever go through something a day that you felt like you just went through yesterday? Like I literally just did this in the same scenario, same time, same feeling, same atmosphere. This literally just happened yesterday. Some might call that work, but hey, that shit can happen, man. It has happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's real shit. It's real deep shit that I love talking about. Absolutely love talking about. I can talk about this shit all day. I got friends that can talk about this shit with me all day, man. But post it down in the comments, man. What do you think? What do you think lies in the afterlife? You know what I mean? What do you think there's life on the other side? Like, hell, even what's your religion? You have a religion? Are you Christian? Are you what Jewish? Are you Methodist? Or are you atheist? Me personally, I'm agnostic, and I think most of what I just said it sums it up. I don't know what's on the other side. I have no idea. These are all theories And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is one of those things that it's okay to be wrong in. Because you're never gonna know if you're right until you're dead. That's the only time you're gonna know. Will I find out? Am I right? I don't know. I haven't died yet. So who knows? Think about it, man. Like, really think about that. Just saying. We don't know what's on the other side. Will always remain a mystery until you pass on, until you finally pass on. But when you do, just make sure you get right. Make peace with your life before you go. I know I sound like a broken record, but seriously, I'm dead serious. Make peace with your life, man. If something's weighing you down and you feel like you got to tell somebody something, you feel like you got to apologize to somebody that you feel you hurt, hey, what better time than the present? If it's really weighing you, you got to get that weight off you. Because that stress is only going to kill you quicker. It's going to take you out quicker. Negative energy will take you out quicker than any illness on this earth, any man-made illness. There is no man-made illness that is worse than negative energy. Negative energy will take you out fast. Get rid of that shit, man. Serious. You're going to feel a lot better. When it's time for your ticket to get punched, you can at least say, hey, I'm cool. Let me check to see something real quick. I ain't leaving you. Groovy. But, just saying, man. Make peace with it. Actually, I'm going to try to get on my laptop and look up some shit. It ain't nothing dirty. Don't worry about it. I ain't looking up nothing dirty. All you perverts out there, mind your business. So, I don't know if that covers afterlife. I'm pretty sure that pretty much sums it up. I mean, like I said, we don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. Scientists act like they fucking know, and that's really that's kind of the only thing that I'm biased against. It's just the arrogance of science. The arrogance of science, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the AI thing, because it's just, we've come so far with technology that we don't know what to do with it, and we're so dumb that we actually think we do. We actually think we have it under control. I don't know, man. I don't feel that we do. I really don't. Because right now, AI is kind of becoming a problem. Like, everything is pretty much just going to be artificial. Everything's going, we're pretty soon, they're trying to go from gas to electric. Everything's going to be electric. Everything's going to be computer programmed. And it's like, what's going to happen to manual labor? What's going to happen to the American working man? Excuse me. What's going to happen with that? I don't know where it is, but I heard that there is a McDonald's. I'm not sure what state it's in. There's a McDonald's that is completely run by artificial intelligence. There's no workers. They got machines in the back making the burgers. They got you go inside, you place your order on the little computer screen, and you beep beep beep, put your money in, put your card in, whatever. They got no cashiers. There's no cashiers at all. There's no people in the store at all, except for you if you go in. I mean, I could be wrong. No, never mind. You can't even go in. It's all drive-through. I think yeah. It's a non-employee. There's a term for it. I think it's a non-employee restaurant. There's no human employees. That's our present. What's going to happen if that shit spreads in every establishment? I mean, hell, the last time I was at Walmart, I can count on one hand how many employees I saw physically. They got more self-checkout lanes. It's all self-checkout. The one up the street from me on Mahoning is all self-checkout, man. That is wild. Not to mention like the AI apps that you can make an AI version of yourself, and you can with the deep fake. And bro, do they not realize how easy that's gonna be? You could literally have your identity stolen with this shit. Because all somebody needs is your face and likeness and your voice. And your identity is gone. Somebody else is walking out there with your face. It's like the movie Face Off. Remember that movie Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta? Remember that shit? I want to take my face off. Bro, that could be you. Who am I, man? I'm about to be you, man. You see somebody committing crime, they look just like you. I know this shit sounds like it's something out of a sci-fi movie. Bro, we practically live in a modern sci-fi movie right now. I've seen some of these deep fake videos, man. Like the one where it was like, I think it was a deep fake of Donald Trump talking about like $6,400 is gonna be going into your account, and I swear it looked just like him. The shit looked just like Donald Trump, from the lips to the hair to the fucking orange face, everything. I thought it was him until you gotta take a good close look to see, oh, okay, now I see that's fake. All right. They're tampering with it. This shit ain't even reached its full potential, and I honestly don't want to see it do that. I always said this when it came to AI and movies like The Matrix. I was always more of a fan of the concept of The Matrix, like the computer simulated world. The concept of The Matrix was always better than the movie. Great concept, bad execution. And there's been plenty of YouTubers that have made videos about that theory. The concept is amazing, but the execution was just bad. It's still scary. When you really sit and watch those movies and you think, that shit'll give you nightmares, especially Revolutions. I think Revolutions is probably the scariest one out of all four. But, man, yeah, hey, dude, that's the fear. Like, what is going to happen to, like, the modern workforce? Like, I'm part of that. I'm a modern working man. I work 5 days, 40 hours a week, 5 days, man. I make a God-fearing, honest living. What's gonna happen if some machines come in, boss come in like, all right, we introducing the new the inventory counter 5,000, the IC 5,000. He's a cybernetic organism. Wait, what? What the fuck, man? That's a robot. Yeah, we're testing it out. We're just gonna be replacing a few employees. I'm like, am I about to lose my job? I know I might be overthinking on this shit, but hey, come on, man. Like that shit can happen. Did we think COVID would come this far? Now that might be a whole other topic, because I know there's people that have different beliefs on COVID and how that deals with politics. Because in a lot of people's eyes, COVID is a very political thing, which it damn sure is. So we ain't gonna touch that surface, Playboy. But yeah, man, technology, bro, it is a scary thing. Technology has always been a scary thing, because most of the time it has always ended up in the wrong hands. These electric cars, listen, y'all need to stop that shit. Please. If there is a electric car manufacturer that ends up watching this video, listen to me. Cut it out. Cut that shit out. Come on, man. Like, it took wintertime to tell you that electric cars don't do good in cold temperature. Of course they don't. Of course they fucking don't, man. Are you serious? Folks were really shocked. You just sitting on a frozen highway with a dead car. You have all the charger stations is frozen. Well, no shit. Come on, man. Gas has always worked better than electric, man. Are you serious? You had a choice. And I'm old school, man. I'm one of them old school people. I live in an apartment with a gas stove. I absolutely love it. I would not trade that shit in for an electric stove ever. I would never trade that in. That electric go out quicker than that gas will. I mean, your lights go out. You can still put the gas stove on, at least heat up the crib. You can at least do that. I'm just saying, old school ain't always bad. And that's the thing. Like, people are just so quick to shit on old school people. And as a millennial, and if there are any millennials watching this, we're part of that old school era now. We are officially at the age where we can tell the newer generation these kids just don't know. This is shit that our parents told us. You know what I mean? Like, most of us was raised by boomers. So we were that last generation of like old school taught kids. We were the last generation to actually go outside and play. We went out and played in the dirt. We drank out of, the little water hoses, man. We played with the fire extinguishers. Or not the fire, but the little fire hydrants. That's what I don't know why I said fire extinguishers. I don't know why you would play with that. But yeah, man, we go outside, we play in the woods, we get poison ivy and we walk that shit off. We played tackle football on concrete, man. We didn't give a fuck. Scratches and cuts and all that shit. Put some Vaseline on it and go back outside and have fun. Nowadays, kids are just, this all you see. Look, this right here is all you see. I remember I was over at a friend's house and his daughter had her friends over. All of them on their phones and laptops. I was like, we both looked at him like, dude, is this for real? All of them, like, just all friends, just kicking it. Laptop in one hand, one got a laptop, another one got a cell phone. I'm like, wow. This is a little scary. It got a little scary. It's like, man, nobody's talking. And me and him, like a lot of my friends, we're old school, man. We not that type to do that. We can't just be sitting in a room on our phones all day. We are physical communicators. That was our generation. We millennials, man. We talked. We went outside. We went across the street like, hey, can so and so come out and play? Sure. I mean, we wasn't primitive. We had technology. Shit, man. My first computer was a Windows Millennium. AOL dial-up. It was the slowest goddamn internet connection of all time. And if you are old school like me, you know about dial-up. And if you're old school, you remember the computers that just had the green screen. Nowadays, what you got? Wi-Fi. You got Wi-Fi? Dad, you have Wi-Fi? Hey, does so-and-so have Wi-Fi at her house? Wi-Fi is the popo, man. That Wi-Fi telling you so goddamn fast. Bro, technology is at an all-time level of just insanity. Because every time you turn around, man, it's just something new. Something new. Something new. Like, we one new tech away from just getting chips put in us. I know I sound crazy talking about all this shit, but it can happen. It can happen, man. Own the technology. Don't let it own you. That's all. Just don't let it own you. Live your life. Like, I admire the parents that still, make their kids go outside and play. The parents that say, hey, okay, put your phones down. We're going to do an activity as a family. Fuck the phones. Fuck the TV. cut the Wi-Fi off, we're going camping, or we going fishing, or we going on a trip. If I see one of you on your cell phones, I'm gonna whoop your ass. We doing this shit today. That's respect, man. I still respect, dude. There are kids nowadays that don't know how to write cursive, that don't know what a hand clock is, because all clocks now are digital. You literally tell a kid, hey, I'm going to come pick you up a quarter till. They look at you like you speaking Portuguese. What's a quarter till? What do you mean a quarter? Are you giving me a quarter? No, a quarter till. Quarter to 12. A quarter to, what's that mean? 11:45, man. Like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? Like, come on, man. Like, I knew what that meant when I was 8. Like, it blows my mind. Like, the things that they've just completely pulled out of teaching. Like, I can't tell you the last time I've actually been to school. I mean, I think the last time I was at school was, what, 2007. And that was the year I dropped out of college. And I think that was one of the last years that we had ever saw a hand clock. The little hands turning like that. Come on, man. We had old school professors. Now everything's on a laptop. There's more homeschooled kids than anything. Bro, 2020, man, 2020 changed the game. It changed the game. And when it did, technology took the fuck over. Yeah, like, it's a scary thought. It really is a scary thought about the whole, rise of the machines theory. I mean, it's a theory. And I know the chances of it happening are very slim. But that doesn't mean that there's zero. There's nothing that on this earth that doesn't have that has a 0% chance of happening. Everything has a possibility of happening. I could go out in my car right now and go for a drive. There is a 1% chance that I could be driving and get jackknifed by a semi-truck. I pray that doesn't happen to anybody. But chances, it's a possibility. There's a chance that you take when you go out and you live your life. That doesn't mean you have to live your life in fear. If it's your time, it's your time. It is. And there's nothing you can do about it. Ain't no AI technology on the planet that's going to save you. And I really do feel like that's what a lot of this technology is being built for. Well, this is to secure and protect the family. It's to secure and protect the nation. It's to secure and protect and to prevent things. You're trying to prevent something that's natural. Death is a natural thing. Ain't no chip on earth that's going to prevent that. It's not. It's not going to do it. Come on now. If getting on your knees and praying ain't going to do it, what makes you think that you shouldn't have to spell this out to people? But there are people out there that just live their lives in that type of fear, and they just rely on anything that the news or the government, this new thing, it's going to say, this is it. It's going to save me. This is it. It's just like those fucking, the fucking booster shots. I know I might lose subscribers talking about this. I don't care. I really don't. But, hey, majority of people I know that have taken all these booster shots, they took every single one of them, guess what? They still got sick. They did. Some of it was even fatal. And I hate to talk about it. And I hate that it's happened. But regardless, it happened. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Because at the end of the day, You're dying living in fear. Nobody should ever do that. I don't feel that anyone should ever be getting ready to pass on and be scared. Once again, it goes back to the afterlife. It's like, dude, you've made peace. Make peace. Technology will not help you make peace with your life. It won't. Only you can. Bottom line. Only you can do that. Just saying, man. So don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything I tell you. You ain't got to believe nothing that I tell you. That's the beauty of different beliefs. It goes back to the religion course that I took. It helped me realize that there is beauty in every single religious belief. There is. Even the ones that are kind of batshit crazy, there's still beauty in them. They all came from somewhere. Everything started from something good. They all started with a good intent. Every movement, every religious practice, they all started from just something pure, something good. They all had good intentions. It just might have gotten into the wrong hands. It's happened. History has shown that. So like I said, just don't believe everything you hear. That's all. And don't rely so much on technology to get you out of a rut, to save you from a horrible situation. Some horrible situations just have to happen. That's life. If life has to happen, then so does this bad situation that you might be going through. Just go through it. Ride it out. Ride that shit out, man. There might be something good on the other side. I gotta get a new laptop. This is just... I got a Dell, but I paid $200 something for this laptop. I just needed something cheap and quick that can help me edit, but you get what you pay for, right? Eventually I'm gonna get a new laptop. I want a laptop that's good for editing, like quick. It can hold storage space, for there's a word for it. I'm not a computer geek, but I need something that's fast. That's what I need. I need a faster working laptop. So if you know any, you got any suggestions, post them in the comments, because I could use some new gear. I could definitely use some new gear, because I really want to start webcam streaming, but my webcam is terrible. I tested it earlier, and it's just awful. It is just awful. It looks like a webcam from 2000. It really does. I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it, but give it for a minute. Yeah, man, don't believe in all that shit. Technology is gonna be the future. It's the future. Hey, man, sometimes the future ain't always that bright, especially if it's a future that's forced. You're trying to force something that ain't supposed to happen. Hey, once again, history's told us that ain't always a good thing, brother. We have afterlife. What do we talk about? Afterlife, AI. I kind of like how that went a little hand in hand, man. It's kind of cool. Ladies, question. What the fuck's going on with y'all, man? Seriously, like what is going on? Mainly with this younger generation female, like what is there is a big, big time problem in the world of female. There really is, man. And I think, and I could be wrong, but I really do think it's this. Most girls nowadays have a very warped thought, of what they think empowerment is. I have nothing against empowering somebody. I have nothing against it whatsoever. History's shown that female empowerment can be a great thing. It really can. I got nothing against against independent women. I have nothing against that at all. But I feel that the term empowerment has a nobody really knows the meaning of it anymore. A lot of people throw words around that they don't understand. They don't understand, the words like, empowerment or toxic or woke. So many people are using these words and like, oh, this is woke. This is so woke. Like, bro, you need to look up what that phrase actually means. You need to look up what empowerment means. Because these are positive things. But lately, they've been depicted as negatives. I'm sorry, but letting your little girls, and you know which video I'm about to talk about, letting your 3-year-old kids dance around, gyrate, and twerk into a song by Sexy Red. You know that one, that hands on your knees shit. Like, when I saw that video, dude, I almost threw up. Let me tell you something, man. You keep that shit up. You keep encouraging these little girls to do all this shit. And it's a sad future. It's a sad ass future we live in. And a lot of those kids are products of single mothers. I have nothing against single mothers. I was raised by a single mother. Now, let me tell you the difference between my single mother and modern single mothers. My single mother did not do it on her own. My mom will never tell you that she did all that by herself. She will never tell that lie. She will never do it. I had cousins. I had uncles. I had aunts. I had friends of hers. All of them. From my martial arts instructors to my teachers, I had male and female influences on my life. And I feel I turned out pretty decent. Never been to jail. Never sold drugs. I don't have an OnlyFans. Not, well, depending on if I get a raise anytime soon, man, because I'm gonna have to come up with some more money, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to make a little something, man. I ain't trying to do nothing strange for some change, but hey, time tough, man. It's I'm just saying, but hey, regardless, I've never done anything that I feel that my family would be ashamed of. So I feel I turned out pretty okay. Now let's go back to what I just said. I had male and female influences on my life. I had male and female, uncles, aunts, male cousins, female cousins, influencing my life, always. My cousin Andy, we grew up on Norwood. He always used to tell me, get your education, man. Get out the hood, get your education. To this day, I can still hear him saying it, man. Real talk. My Uncle Donnie taught all of us how to be men. Like, dude, come on. Stop all that soft shit, man. Quit all that goddamn crying. For real. We had men in our lives. Both in the boys' lives and the girls' lives. That matters. And any time, like, and that's the difference between then and now. Because there's so many single mothers out there that will just deliberately and intentionally shut a father out of a kid's life. I've always felt that like separated households, man, that's a dangerous thing to toy with. That's a dangerous thing to toy with because at the end of the day, you got to think about the kid, man. If y'all can't work together somehow to establish some kind of positive future for your child, whether it be a son or a daughter, it don't fucking matter. If you can't come together and try to work this shit out, you ain't got to do it for them. Y'all ain't got to fucking like each other. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. When you have a kid, it really doesn't matter. Like, bitch, it don't matter if you like me or not. We're here for him or her. We're here for these kids. We got to work this shit out. We got to do something. That you're not just going to shut me out just because you in your feelings about shit. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, it really doesn't. And I'm going to sound cold-hearted for saying this, but I really do feel that there are a lot of mothers out there that are just having kids just for tax return money. As fucked up as that sounds. As fucked up as that sounds, man. I've seen it. You ain't got to say it. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words, man. You getting all this good money back from these child support checks and these tax returns. Meanwhile, the kid's asking, hey, where's dad? Is dad coming home? Dad doing this? Your daddy ain't shit. Don't worry about your fucking father. Because he ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit. How many kids have heard that? How many kids still have to hear that? How many kids still have to hear, daddy talking shit about mommy? Mommy talking shit about daddy. This is why daddy don't fuck with your mom. This is why mom don't fuck with your daddy. Be careful on what you say in front of your child. Kids are very impressionable. Please just be careful with the shit that you say. Do right by them. That's your priority. Your child is your priority. And I feel nowadays a lot of fathers understand that more than mothers do. Real talk, man. I got two friends. If they watching, they know I'm talking about y'all. These are two of the greatest examples of modern fathers that regardless of anything else that's happening in their life, they make sure that A, their kids eat first, their kids are taken care of, their kids got a roof over their head, because that's what fucking matters, man. Anybody just being a good father, just being a good mother, it's about being a good parent. Being a good parent is what matters. And I'm sorry, but sometimes you got to be careful when you hear people say, I'm a great mother, I'm a great this, I'm a great that. Somebody got to boast all the time that they're great. If they have to post that shit on social media or if they got to tell you every 5 seconds, it's probably the other thing. It's probably the opposite. They're not trying as hard as they say they are. They're not. Like, taking pictures of all your kids. My kids come first. My kids come first. My kids come first. A lot of times what that means is that translates to this. My kids come when it's convenient for me. Think about that shit, man. If your kids are if anybody in your life is a convenience, I wouldn't want to be that to somebody. Oh, he's a convenience to me. You know what the fuck that sounds like? Imagine, ladies, I want you to imagine. You find the guy, he's the man of your dreams. Y'all been dating for about 3 years. And he, let's say he's a little late. He finally introduces you to some important people. You know what I mean? And he introduces, hey, This is my girlfriend, so and so. Yeah, man. She seems great. Yeah, she is a convenience. She's a great convenience to me. That don't even sound like you talking about a person. You talking about something that makes you that probably makes you money. You might as well be a hoe if you talking about you like that. And lately, and some of y'all guilty of this shit. These are the motherfuckers that you often put over your kids. Let me ask you something. How many times have you seen this? I'm asking this to both men and women. How many times have you seen this on social media? Single mother gets a boyfriend. She is all about him. This is the love of her life. Love of her life. She posts so much shit about him, you damn near forget that she has 3 kids. The minute she breaks up with this man, what do they post? I'm just doing me. Everything I do is for my kids. My kids come first. My kids come first. No, your kids come now. Your kids are just coming now. So what you need to write is, my kids come when it's convenient. I know there's some personal shit. It sounds like I'm taking jabs, but I'm not. I'm not taking jabs. I'm not roasting. I'm not trying to talk shit or nothing. I'm just saying, do better. Do better. Get you some older people that you know. It ain't got to be your mom. It ain't got to be your dad or your grandpa. It ain't got to be nobody. You might have a bad relationship, which it don't matter. It just, find somebody wise. There are still older, wiser people out there in the world. Find them. Talk to these motherfuckers, man. They will teach you some shit. A lot of shit that I've learned have been from people that are old enough to be my grandparents, bro. And I learned a hell of a lot from them. AFNB, always forward, never back. My mother told me that at 71 years old, this woman has lived. She has seen the shit. My mom's told so many younger girls, like, bitch, everything you've done, I've done. That's a real woman telling you that. A lot of y'all need some real women in your life telling you shit like that. Real old heads. You know, a lot of times y'all don't want to listen to the old folks. A lot of y'all don't want to listen to the older people. They old, man. They don't know shit. They don't know what the hell they talking about. Put them in a home. They old. Nah, you need to listen to some of these old motherfuckers because they know what they talking about. They've lived. They've lived way longer than you, and they've seen more shit than you. Sorry, but age, man. If age comes experience. If you can live to see 75, man, do you realize that in this age, that is a rite of passage? That is a big time rite of passage, man. You earn that shit. Hell, if you can make it to 50, you earn that shit. Earn what you take. Seriously, man. Listen to some of these old heads, man. They might teach your ass something. Real talk. Listen to the couple that's been married for 50-something years. Celebrating their 54th anniversary. 54 years of marriage. Sit them down and ask them, what's the secret? They just might tell your ass. They just might teach you some shit. We talking about people that got grandkids. Them and the husband and wife, they get to see their kids raise families of their own. Bro, that is a blessing not too many people have. You could have that. Just don't fuck it up. Try. Just try. I ain't saying be perfect overnight, but just do right by the life that you brought on this planet. Teach them real shit. Don't just teach them. You don't need so-and-so, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this. No. Don't fucking do that. Be an influence. Don't be something that they're going to grow up to hate. I've seen it. A lot of people I talk to say they grow up and they hate their parents now. You know how heartbreaking that is to hear? To hear somebody say, man, I can't stand my fucking mom. I can't stand my fucking dad. You know how much that hurts to hear? And I ain't even part of their fucking family, and that hurts to hear. What happened? And that almost makes you wonder, what happened in their life to make them say that? You hate is a strong word anyway, but to say you hate your parents, wow, that's some deep shit. It's different when kids say, I hate it here. I hate it here. The kids throwing a tantrum. Okay, that's cute. It'll pass. It's a phase they grow out of. Angry teenagers, they grow out of it. All teenagers are angry and they got attitudes. I was angry and I had a fucking attitude. I gave my mom a headache daily. But I grew out the shit. Because I grew up. I'm telling you right now, man, if you 60 something and your kid is damn near 40 and they still saying, I hate you. You need to do some reflecting. Single mothers, that could be you. I'll never forget, my mom told me about a coworker that she had. I forget the lady's name. I have to ask her tomorrow when I see her. But she said this lady talked so much shit. And this was when a little while after my mom had, had me. Because my mom and my father never had the best of relationships, and they never did. My dad dipped before, I was born. Not entirely. He came around, but still, he wasn't as much a part of my life as he should have been. That's another story for another time. Getting back to my mom's friend. She gave my mom probably some of the best advice. She said, let me tell you something. No matter what you're going through with that man, she was referring to my dad. No matter what you're going through with that man, don't badmouth him in front of your son. I made the mistake of doing that with my daughter. I badmouthed her dad daily. I talk shit about him all the time. All the time I talk shit. That nigga ain't here because he ain't shit. Fuck that dude. He ain't shit. You don't need him. He ain't shit. That's why he ain't here, because he ain't shit. One day my daughter grew up. And she wanted to learn the other side of the story. Two sides to every story, people. She found out the true side of that story. Guess what happened? Daddy wasn't all that bad. Mama was just toxic. So mommy's been lying to me. And she told her, she's like, my daughter won't even send me a Christmas card. She won't. I can't remember the last time I saw her. My daughter hates me. I don't wish that upon you and your son. That's some real shit right there. Learn from the bad shit, man. You gotta learn from the bad shit. Ladies, it's not too late. Single mothers, it's not too late. Watch what you say around your kids. Don't badmouth the father. Even if the nigga is bad. Even if he is truly a bad person. That's not your place to say that in front of your child. It doesn't matter how much you can't stand this person. Never do that. Single fathers, same thing. Don't badmouth the moms. Don't do that. It ain't worth it. Because that's just going to twist this kid's mind up even worse. I don't even have kids. And I still know that. I've seen it. Literally. Like, this is real shit, man. Do right. And this do right. This is the advice for all three of these topics. For AI, for afterlife, single mothers, just overall. Do right, man. Do your best to just make peace with yourself, with your children, with your family, with people around you overall. So what if somebody cut you off on the road? Hey, fuck them. So what if somebody? So what if a co-worker got pissed and threw a tantrum and tried to get in your face? Man, walk that shit off. You don't know what other people are going through, man. Don't make somebody else's conflict yours. That's the best advice I can give. That's somebody else's conflict, man. That ain't you. They going through something. You gotta let them go through it. Because they're in a place that only they can get themselves out of. You can't pull them out of that place. And cussing them out and punching them in the face is just gonna push them deeper into that place. And now it's gonna make you look like shit. They going through shit, you going through shit. Go through your shit and get right with yourself. That's it. Do right. Try. Every day you get up, man, try to be better than what you were yesterday. You don't need technology to do that. You don't need religion to do that. You need you to do that. You're the only one that can do that. That's it, man. That'll sum up everything that I just fucking talked about, dog. Single mothers, do better. Do right. Single parents as a whole. Because y'all got a lot. You do. But just know you don't always have to be mommy and daddy or daddy and mommy. You ain't always got to be that. There's always somebody out there to help. Always. Ain't too many people cold-blooded enough to say, fuck that kid. No. There ain't no single person on this planet that's that cold-blooded to look at a child and say, screw you. I don't care what you go through. You're very seldom when you see somebody do some shit like that. And that's on God, man. So you find you somebody to help you go through what you're going. There's always somebody out there. Whether it could just be somebody that you need to vent to. You need to vent? Cool. We all got friends. We all got family, cousins, uncles, parents. Find somebody. You need help? Get that shit, man. For real. Because this whole, I don't need nobody. Fuck that. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. That's not empowering, man. And it's kind of contradicting. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I don't need all this. I don't need all that. But whose child support check are you taking? Who's subscribing to your OnlyFans? Yeah, I know a lot of y'all fucking got it. Don't lie. I don't know too many chicks that don't have one. And a lot of them got kids. Yeah. So who are the simps subscribing to your OnlyFans? Ain't no woman subscribing to you. They too busy getting their own shit. Yeah. You saying you don't need the very thing that you're taking money from willingly. That's contradicting. It is. Remember, kids are impressionable. As a parent, you should want your kid to have a better life than what you had or what you're having now. You want your kids to have better, you got to do better. Just saying, man. Do better. This ain't no way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to. I'm not like chastising. I'm not trying to roast or anything like that. I'm speaking. I'm just speaking from the heart, man. Because there's no such thing as a lost cause. Y'all ain't lost causes. Ain't no such thing as that. You ain't no lost cause, man. Kids ain't lost causes either. Whatever you try harder. However you were yesterday, be better today. And whatever you are today, be better tomorrow. I'm cool today. Be great tomorrow. Be great tomorrow. Fucking be extraordinary the day after. It's hard getting there. Work on it. You'll get there. It might feel like forever, but it's gonna happen. Just do right. You need a computer to tell you that. You need God to tell you that. You need your mama to tell you that. You need your daddy to tell you that. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that. That's it. Hope you liked how real I got. That's as real can get, man. Technology, religion, bad parenting, hey. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Don't let all this shit weigh you down. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink. That's another piece of advice I can give you. Don't overthink anything. You're going to hear a lot of different stuff from other people, from everybody. That was the thing I loved about my religious course. Like, we toppled every single religion. And they all had different teachings. But as different as those teachings are, they were kind of the same. You got a bunch of people just trying to do right. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. So, once again, I know I sound like a broken record, but at the end of the day, all these topics that I talked about, look, man, just do right. And you might have fun on the other side. That's all. Always forward, never back. I'm out.